This is Boxing Tickets NI. We're here at the final press conference for the Conlan boxing show at the Ulster Hall on Saturday night. Delighted to be joined by the quiet man, Stevie Ward. Obviously, I think when people look at sort of boxing and things like that, and obviously see you haven't boxed since 2021, they probably thought that was the end, but it's probably been a hard time for you over the last, nearly 2.5 years not been boxing?
Yeah, difficult time. Just no fault of my own. There's a few problems everywhere. I got a few fights fell through, but lucky enough, back on Saturday night in the Conlan bill, thanks to Jamie and Michael for getting me on it, and leading my manager, so I'm looking forward to it.
I was saying to Jamie, obviously I done an interview with Jamie last week, and I couldn't believe, it's coming up. Was it 5 years since the last time obviously you boxed at home? Obviously the Liam Conroy fight, that's one that you probably never forget. Obviously it was one of them fights that had it all. It's crazy, I guess COVID sort of ruined a lot of things for us, but I guess that time sort of as a healer for you, it's probably helped you grow into the cruiserweight role more.
Yeah, not so much a healer. It's done my head in, to be honest. But I think the problem was as well after the Concabayev fight, to give a decent account of myself in the Concabayev fight, and then you've sort of nothing to offer. So you're a hard fight. So not a lot of people want that fight. There's nothing at the end of the road for them. So it just made things really difficult. But I'm glad to be back. I feel good. I definitely feel better at a cruiser. Feel far better because the 14.4 is just high. I used to do 12.7 is above me when I look back now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being back out. I'm looking forward to getting the rust off and hopefully into some big fights this year.
I guess when the cuts and stuff you had, the Conroy fight, and then is it Kubasev, is that how you say the name? Obviously you had a couple of nasty cuts, so I guess that time of the rings probably helped your body sort of heal properly so that it doesn't damage you sort of moving forward.
Yeah, well, even though I haven't been in the ring fighting, I've been in the ring, sparring big time McCarthy. I've been doing bits of sparring with other boys on and off. You get really pissed off and frustrated. You blow hot and cold, and the time you've been in the gym back to back, weeks after week, and then you're out, and then you're in, and you're out. So I think overall it's done me good. I think I'm looking forward to getting in there, getting a win, and getting a big fight pretty quick.
I've seen obviously Carl Frampton obviously put something up the other day. You've obviously been doing obviously in Monkstown you've been doing a Fight to Thrive.
Fight to Thrive, yeah. Since the inactivity, I work as a youth worker too. I work a lot of schools trying to mentor a lot of young people. I just seeing what's going on with a lot of young people now, and I feel so passionate about it. I started a company, Fight to Thrive, and what it is going in teaching emotional resilience and teaching coping mechanisms, learn about all these anxiety and all these words that are just thrown about these days, learn about them. But on the back side of that, each session they learn a bit of boxing, they learn how to box, they get to do the art of boxing, they got to learn the discipline. So it's class, it's really, really good. It's delivered all around on the EA, it's delivered all around Northern Ireland, so it's cool.
It's probably something I never probably thought probably you'd say yourself. It's probably something you never thought you would have done. Is it really enjoyable for you? Obviously, that education side, letting people know more about boxing.
Yeah, people have this idea of boxing being a rough and rugged sport. It's completely opposite. You know yourself. Any boxers you meet are generally nice people. Okay, when they're in the ring, it's different, but it's controlled aggression. And boxing everyday training is that outlet. It's that emotional outlet and physical and that's something I've tried to bring into Fight to Thrive, and it's going really well, and it's a real rewarding thing to see some young people, maybe non-school goers or etc., come through it and benefit from it and just learn about it. They don't have to become world champions, but they just have to become the best version of themselves.
Speaking obviously of your own career, obviously after that time out, what sort of goals and ambitions do you sort of still have for yourself, obviously in boxing? I guess with that time out, until you get in there Saturday night, you probably not know what you still have the hunger, you still have the love for it in the same way. Where are you driving yourself, obviously, in this comeback?
Well, lucky enough, I've got Lee behind me, who's a phenomenal manager. He's a manager in there. He's in there for the boxers. I would love to win British, European, Commonwealth belts. I'm a realistic man too, and I know a lot of people come on to be like world titles, but domestically I still need to prove myself. Great fight against Conroy, but it's one fight. Do you know what I mean? There's definitely other fights out there. There's fights I would love. There's a few. I don't want to start naming names. There's definitely a few fights I would love.
If you'd have started naming names there, I'd say that you're not Stephen Ward. Obviously, you've never really sort of done that. I guess we're in a sort of new breed of obviously, you've seen a lot of obviously Ryan Burnett, obviously Michael Conlan, Carl Frampton. We're seeing a sort of new breed coming through now. Obviously Kurt Walker's coming through from the amateur setup. We've seen a bit of a transition period in boxing, but I guess, people look at Saturday night and seeing dazn being part of a Conlan boxing show. Like, this is crazy for Irish boxing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant for a play of Conlan boxing. Boxing got really quiet in Belfast, and they took a punt, they took a risk, and it's going to pay off. I think they're just going to go strength to strength now. I think they're just going to get better and better. They're bringing boxing back to Belfast. They're giving local fighters, they're giving anyone from south, from north, giving them opportunities to fight, and for them fans to be able to come and support. So it's class. It's good for Belfast.
It's the Irish box as a whole is thriving. Like, obviously Dillian White's obviously fought in Ireland this month. It's crazy.
How mad was that? I couldn't believe it. That was a bit surreal. But yeah, Irish boxing is massive. It's Northern Irish boxers have always been renowned for their strength and their ability and their quality. And finally, it's not going anywhere. It's the boys are in and they're putting on shows. It's going well.
I'm guessing obviously you haven't got back over with Jamie. Obviously this camp is is his partnership sort of still there with Jamie. It sort of, I guess, as the bigger fights come, that the cost involved obviously boxing sometimes it's hard to get over there and go, the money it's going to cost. Like, I'm guessing obviously the partnership's still there with Jamie.
Yeah, it's still there. I've been on the phone with Jamie and Nigel. We've been talking a lot. We have Sam coming over, one of the coaches who's going to do the corner, who's done my corner before. He's a good man. The partnership's there, but like you said, I have a family of 4. I'm a working man. I'm in the gym. I'm dedicated. But after this fight, we get the bigger fights. I have some good guys who are coming in to sponsor me and help me. They've helped me a lot this time as well. And after this fight, get it over me. Then I'll give me the opportunity, all being well, to go to Manchester, put in a good camp, and like one final crack at the whip for me. Like, I'm not into just tiptoe around. I'll need a fight to get me back in, which I accept. But then I want to be straight back in there, and Eaton's the man for that.
What can we sort of expect? Has anything sort of changed in obviously, I guess, in the last couple of years since you haven't been in the ring? Like, what's people going to expect? Is there anything different of obviously Stevie Ward coming in the ring?
Well, I was always like textbook Steve, I was typical textbook boxing. I don't think a lot of it's changed. I feel like I've developed a wee bit more middle to close range, preferably middle. So there's definitely been adaptations, which is going to happen after time out. I'm a bigger man, I feel the weight on me. When I'm in training and I'm running and things, you can definitely feel the weight on you, so it's definitely going to have a positive impact. I'm not going to be on my toes as much. I'm still going to be on my toes, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll know, ask me that question after Saturday night and I'll let you know.
Obviously, Carl Frampton obviously is retired. Obviously, he was a massive thing. Like, what have you sort of made? Obviously, his new role. Like, he's had his own book out. He's his own whiskey brand. He's a pundit in TNT Sport. Like, it seems to be. He's everywhere nowadays. Like, obviously, I think was like an Oriental Express train last week as well. Like, he seems to be everywhere at the moment. Like, even in retirement, I think Carl's probably busier now than he's ever was.
I think he is busier, but I think it might be more enjoyable. The likes of the training. I'm very, very lucky to have spent a few years with Frampton. What that man taught me, and the amount he helped me too. People don't see in the background he helped me. So now he's enjoying himself, and he's just right. But he's busy. And him and his family, and he's an icon. He's an icon of the boxing world. And it's a bit mad whenever you just sit with him having a coffee, but you don't sort of realise, which I think's good. He still takes a piss out of me, and I take a piss out of him, which is good. But he enjoys the time now.
I'm sure you missed obviously the camps. Like, I remember obviously the games you played. He's asked people all the questions, and there've been obviously so much thrown off. Like, I guess that's boxing, isn't it? Obviously you can't keep boxing forever. Carl probably done the good thing, and he decided when his time was right to get out. Like, he probably could have been some others and went one step too far. Yeah. I guess obviously he didn't probably want to go out in the way he did, but what a career he had.
Yeah, 100%. And he was one of the reasons I got back into the sport, because I was talking to him and I was saying to him, I actually phoned him, I'll be honest, I was like, listen mate, should I get out of the sport, in activity, no fights, all this going on? And he was like, no big man, you have more to give. So, he helped me out there, because he's an honest, and we made a deal with me. I remember I made a deal with him that when he thinks it's time for me to get out to tell me, and I'll listen to him, because sometimes the fighter's the last person to know. So yeah.
Well, listen, it's great to catch up with you. Obviously, can't wait to see you back in the ring on Saturday evening. I'm sure we'll catch up with you after to see how it went.
Brilliant man, thank you, good to see you.
Cheers Davey, thank you.